Hello everybody, welcome back to episode 20 of my tutorial series for Dwarf Fortress. And today, the main topic of our series will be building a trap for a forgotten beast. Because, there will be always fights that you will be not really winning. And, that's one thing that's really important to emphasize in this game. There are fights that you really want to avoid wherever possible. And luckily, we got exactly one of these examples in our vicinity here. So this dude here is not only feathered and has wings, that means he flies, but also he got webs. So, everything with webs. The combat goes like this. This thing spits webs in every direction, and people who get hit by that get incapacitated. Then the thing gets close to the next best person who's incapacitated by a web and bites its head off. Rinse and repeat. That's really how they fight. So the thing is, you can only beat this by tossing enough dwarves at once at that thing to give your dudes a chance to wrestle it down before it kills off everybody. And if you don't have enough dwarves, there's a fair chance that everybody will get webbed that's currently around, and it picks off everybody one by while re-webbing them. However might be the case, we're not going to want to fight that thing. Therefore, we're going to build a containment chamber. So currently, we got no more access to the caverns here. The monster is actually just hiding a few steps away from our main base. Pretty problematic. I also noticed that my food stockpiles are lowering over the course of the time, so we're going to slaughter some of those yak animals that we got here. So let's slaughter a bull and a cow. That should give us enough food. Let's see how it goes after that. And the first thing we now do is we go and start digging a area that will basically use to funnel the monster inside of the trap. Then comes the actual trap. It's preferably a spot where we force the monster to waste as much time as possible to reach the actual containment chamber. So let's do something like that. Here. So this is going to be the actual containment chamber. Chambers, because I have plans. So yeah, this is pretty much what I had in mind here. Beautiful. So I'm not going to breach this one because that's that one tile which will connect the whole thing to the rest of the fortress. We don't want to get there. So, the Forgotten Beast is meanwhile just slaughtering casually everything in its vicinity, and we cannot do much about that. I'm pretty positive that my dudes would pretty much all die if we'd try fighting that thing. So, we're not gonna. And most beautiful thing about it all is that we got us a web-spitting monster. That means we are going to utilize that thing in the long run. So I'm going to build myself already something. This is basically the next level strategy, what we're going to do with that thing. We're building a web collection chamber. So there we go. Let's do this like that. This has to get connected like that. Probably we want a little bit of a larger access zone. Yeah, let's do this like that for now. So, this doesn't make sense at all for now, I know. But don't you worry, when we're done with it, it will. Do I need more than that? No, I don't. Alright, so we got to bring up a couple of extras here before that whole thing will work out as we want. Oh boy, the poor guy who needed some yarn that we didn't have went berserk. So we totally need to get in between that. So Tourist is now gone crazy, There's no saving for that poor fella. He's berserk, and he's going to kill as many people as he can before he'll die himself. So, let's see. We only lost Tirist, and our herbalist Silop got some beating, some bruising, but overall, she survived. All right. It's always tragic when you cannot fulfill a artifact mode, but in this series here, I'm a little bit worse than usual because I have too many balls to juggle at the same time. How that comes together, I wonder. So, now then, so this is the whole system. This is going to be the entrance. This is going to be Containment Chamber 1, Containment Chamber 2, and this is going to be the web farm. So all of these parts will come into play one by one. I just want to explain it already so you know what the hell I'm doing here. So we're going to go for a lot of doors here, you know. I really want doors. But I do notice one thing. Why are we not producing enough doors? What's going on with our siltstones? Yeah, well, we're just not. They're just not fast enough for my taste. That's all. So if that happens, let's see. We got siltstone door jobs. Let's crank them up by allowing them to build more of these at once. The thing is, currently those stones are really far away and they need to get hauled to the workshops. So, well, let's do something I usually don't do, but let's connect the siltstone pit with the rest of the fortress. This will mitigate logistical efforts by so much. Alrighty, that's that. Little optimizations on the fly. Let's get back to our actual trap. So, step one that I want to do here is I want to have a door in here as well. So that's why I'm starting to prioritize these doors as much, but I see that the doors are being built quite fast. Oh, wait a sec, that's the wrong spot for the door. Or is it? Yeah, it is. So, bridge first. We're going to build that with good old rock salt blocks. One bridge here to seal off that thing entirely. Then we're going to wall this part here off. This was just a maintenance shaft sort of thing. Oh no. Oh no. So that's quite horrible. So what happened here is I'd assume that our civilization just lost one of our holdings, and a couple of people just inherited barren titles. This is... oh, not what I wanted to have. Oh, and I forgot the last time that my dude here needs chests and cabinets. Whoopsie. So yeah, this is something that we need to take care of in another episode, because that means we have to dig out a whole lot of new apartments, and it opens up a good opportunity for me to showcase what you can do if you have a noble too many. So, but for today, I'll just leave it like that. You elitist dwarves have to live with the fact that we're not going to go take care of your needs. So that door here is really important, and we're going to plaster the whole place with doors. So here we go. The fun part about doors is Forgotten Beasts currently cannot breach it. I still build as if they could breach it, but basically you could skip all the doors and or you could skip all the bridges and replace them with doors. That's just me building in a way that this fortress will still work if there is a rework of that system. So with all those barons in place, we really got to take care that we have enough opportunities here available. Oh, so all these jobs got cancelled all of a sudden. So yeah, we got to keep a maintenance connection here up. Otherwise, we cannot staff out the rest of the system. So, these wall tiles here will see a smoothing. And we're going to require some bridges. One here, and one there. Okay. So now the rest of the construction process can continue. I kind of like cut them off. Alright. So we got to put up more doors here. And then we're carving fortifications in there. Last but not least, we do require another bridge here. Alright, so the setup how I did it here would be resilient against building destroyers, if building destroyers would be still a thing. I think I have missed one bridge though. But in the current version of Dwarf Fortress, somehow Forgotten Beasts have lost their ability to destroy buildings. So, yeah, that's that. When you're designing a prison for a Forgotten Beast, I strongly recommend you to think of every nutty idea that would cross your mind and leave some room for all of these ideas. So here, for example, I do cultivate the idea that in the future we might pit these monsters against each other just for the sake of entertainment. That's why I'm adding in another exit that is only going to be useful if we put up that crazy thing up to a test. So, let's see. Combat, well, it's just the Forgotten Beast doing its thing. And here we got now all it requires to open up the caves. But what's really important is that I'm dumping away with these rocks here. So I don't know how do we have a dumping zone right now? It's up there. I'm going to delete that even, because, you know, we don't need it anymore. I could pause it for later, but for the sake of the current situation, we're just going to put up one dumping zone here and lock the other stones in place. Just doing that, there will be no accidental slip up in the later stages of this plan. So the next step is a room with all the necessary levers to flick. This is going to be a pretty pretty large room. So, ban, alright, just a export ban. I got to keep those guys, I got to keep an eye out on these guys because they will impose a lot of requests over the course of the time, and these might become a problem. So, what's now only left to do here for our trap is to set up a decoy or two. We better bring up two, maybe even three. Yeah, we got enough cows up there. We can do this. And let's tell our forager to gather some tasty quarry bush here, because I do realize that my food numbers are still going down. That means we got to amp up our numbers in terms of food production a bit. Oh no! I've forgotten to pasture something, haven't I? That only happens when you forget to pasture something. And, well, I don't know. I don't know where that was, but, or when that was, but I'm pretty sure somebody noticed. You guys always notice, don't you? So, we're going to pit some of those troglodytes while the rest of this thing is being constructed. And, there we go. So, the last thing left to do are some switches. So, I'm bringing up 5 of them, because we're going to control this one, that one, that one, and that one. Well, alright, that's one too many, but alrighty. So an elven caravan has arrived. We're going to ignore these elves for now. I'm not interested in elves. Should anybody be interested in trade with elves? So we're now linking every bridge to one distinct lever. So the elves now want me to only fell 25 trees for the next until the next year. That's what they do when your fortress grows into the rank of a barony. So they try to limit your tree chopping quota. That's normal. They always do that. So one last lever that we need. I'll put it up there. And then our trapping system is almost good to go. All we require now are a couple of animals that we won't miss. So, you know, let's see. Do we have anything like the troglodytes? But less, okay, the elk birds are trained. I don't want to give them away. Well, we got a large rat here that I won't miss. So, another large rat. And I saw a bird that I won't miss. Alright, these things are super important, otherwise we won't be able to lure the beast to where we want it to. Also important, your trap has to have a direct connection to the rest of your fortress. Otherwise the monster won't be lured to getting close, but you will have enough time to seal off the entire complex, don't worry. So let's do this. So we want to, well, alright, these are not all linked yet. Okay, this switch is like that. Alright. And that here is going to be for the shutters. That's least important one. So let's see. Alright, here we got that one close now. Creatures are in position. Let's see. So all the levers are linked. That one. Okay, so I think we're good to go. Let's see, is there anything else that we're going to lose control of? No, I don't think so. So there's one last thing that's really, really important to do now. So we're adding now a new burrow just for this room. There will be just one person assigned. Let's say, yeah, this stonecutter here. I don't care. Atir Rigothofal, blah. Alright, whatever. So this guy will now be assigned to this place, and most importantly, this lever will also be assigned to Atir. The thing here, Atir, I'm sorry. The thing here is, it is really, 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 really important that you have the people in place there. So I'm now waiting for Atir to get where I need him. You can easily force that by telling them to pull the lever that you want them to, or that you assign to them. I'm going to show you why that's so important. Here comes Atir. So I'm going to delete that because I don't want that lever to be flicked, but as a matter of fact, he's now here in the vicinity and he's staying here, which is absolutely vital to the operation here. So last step, we're breaching the wall. So we got everything in place here, and our dude Atir is now chilling here. That's what I wanted to have. The job has been assigned, and let's do a last check. Our Forgotten Beast is in place. All right, so let's see it in motion. All right, the miner comes on in, going through the entire maze, and now the whole thing is in danger. So we need to make a flask for our dude here. So Let's order that real quick before I forget it. Let's make it a copper flask. Please, only one. We don't need 10 of these. Okay, so let's get into the perspective of the Forgotten Beast now. So, if we did everything correctly, it'll now wheeze directly to the entrance that has opened up for our people. We're also going to assign this burrow back, all the civilians in to that burrow here. So we're only excluding a tier because we're going to need him, and there we go. So back to the perspective of the beast. It's really important to have all these things in place, otherwise your fortress will die. So let's see. Here you see that guy is directly pathing to the entrance of the base. You see, the moment you open it, they find it. They know it. They just know where to go. They just freaking know where to go. He's trying that door now. It's not open. Let's see. Forgotten Beasts actually should be able to open doors, as far as I remember, at least. So now he's going to give it a dramatic pause. But this actually should work because it connects to the rest of the fortress, and here it goes. Okay, dramatic pause, as you see there. These creatures can open doors. And now, the vital moment. Pull the lever, Mr. Atir. Boom. That's why I locked that guy into place, you know? There was no chance for him to come too late to the party or anything. And the last thing that we need to do now is we need to lock off these doors so the creature has no chance to get into your base. Really, really important. Ideally, you would be putting a bridge between this and that. But we were successful, friends. This operation was a full success. So we can pause the burrow here. Civilians are allowed to move freely again because there is no more danger. But you should really double and triple check the security of your systems in these situations. So what's left to do now is we got to pull that lever. All right. So Atir is now, or no, Sofipu is now getting in there. There we go. And we're locking these doors behind the monster. And now it has only one door left to go, and sooner or later it should meander towards this zone, I hope. If not, we have to get in some tasty decoys to lure the monster in there. There we go. That's how you trap a Forgotten Beast. This method works for every single one of them. There is no Forgotten Beast that's immune to these. I heard that sometimes they tend to be a bit stubborn when it comes down to decoys and the like. But as far as I know, no Forgotten Beast is capable to resist the alluring entrance to a open base. You know, that's just one thing. And I somehow am afraid that, well, it might take a while, but the moment this thing walks on over there, we're just going to forbid the doors behind it and force its way to go wherever we want it to go. So, yet another flask. So that means the first mandate has been fulfilled, and then we need just yet another one. You crazy horse, you. Okay. No, actually, there's still the first mandate. It must have been a hand that I didn't realize. This guy forbid the export of bins, which is in its own regard a challenge. Alrighty. Why is the large rat fighting and where? One of my hunters is doing crazy stuff again. I see. So the doctors want a guild hall, so sounds like the urban tasks are calling us again. So yeah, that's what I wanted to showcase for this episode, and I think it's been a brilliant success. I mean, the movement of this creature to the actual trap, you know, we can just let's stay with that topic for this episode for once. And I'm going to put up the new Baron's quarters in the next episode. Oh, and here, I totally forgot my buddy Atir. I'm sorry, dude. I'm totally sorry, my man. So, the Burrow is no longer assigned to him, so he can roam freely. If you happen to have gremlins on your map, which happens quite regularly, it's better to just put a wall inside there, or put a wall between the levers that control the opening and the closing of your monster traps, because otherwise one sassy gremlin could just open up the trap and spell doom for your entire fortress. That could very, very easily happen. So, well, let's see. There's now two things how you can whip this up. Either you feel brave and you put a door into the place where that boulder was, or you put a wall in there and you hope that the decoy will actually please the monster. So, why aren't we linked to both of these bridges? That was a oversight here. Okay. So the good news about all that is, once all these things are in place, we got ourselves a fancy, fancy spider silk farm, you know? That's pretty cool. So, and what's also pretty cool, we can open up the caverns yet again, because it is now safe to go out there again. Isn't it neat? I love it. Alrighty, so yeah, something deep down inside me feels bad about adding in a door in here, but I know that it works for now. But seriously, the moment the update hits town that forbids these things, I'm going to inform you guys, and then this has to be another bridge. Otherwise, a local monster will be happy to rush into your fortress, and a very paranoid part of me just needs to have that bridge here, okay? I feel like a bad fortress planner without it. Surely understand me. Okay, so that's that. Next episode, we're going to have to bring Baron's quarters, and I will invoke the options how to deal with Baron issues, you know. We'll see about that in its own episode. Now then, one more lever, please. The poor Webbit is in place. We lock that door. We open that door, and let's see if that's already enough for the forbidden. Oh yeah, he wants meat. As you see there, the forgotten beast is immediately chasing it down. We can now close the door. Poor Webbit. But as you see here, the fortifications are working out as intended. Brilliant. Alright, so let's pull that lever, and now the web farm is operational, my friends. We're trapping us some elk bird here again. 1 elk bird, 2 elk bird, 3 elk bird. Just like that. And the food stockpiles are still dropping, so that's a bit of a sad thing. So I just want to showcase here. Last thing. We're going to seal the shut, and we're going to lower the shutters now. And then we're going to set up these here. And that one will be linked to that one. Because, you know, I feel bad about my security if I don't do this. Even if it ain't necessary currently. I don't care. I truly don't. Alright, let's cage away those elk birds right away. And let's see. There we go. So I do require another rope and chain on that side. And now we just chain something up there. Oopsie. Let's chain up 1 elk bird. Why not? There's More than enough of them, dudes, just currently swarming into my traps. They just can't get enough of that, eh? And then it should work like that. Alright. Let's lower the shutter. And there we go. The Forgotten Beast is now permanently firing webs at that poor bird. And you can now just do as you please, you know. You can harvest these afterwards. That's that. And then you can pull the shutter yet again to do whatever you want to. Just keep in mind that, as you see here, the wherever the elk bird is moving, he's destroying the webs again, and the bridges themselves are destroying the webs too, so you might want to optimize this whole concept a little bit on your fortress. I just want to give you the basic idea of how to get it done. So my friends, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you found that helpful. This was the part about how to trap those forgotten beasts. And next episode, like I said, all about nobles and the like. So, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about what we did there. Leave me a thumbs up on that video if you enjoyed. Consider subscribing if you want to support the channel. That's the easiest and cheapest way to do. And of course, there are more playlists down there. Check them out. I'd be delighted if you did so. Have a wonderful day, and see you guys next time.